Hello. Happy Monday morning, ladies and gentlemen. Baby, it's cold outside. Actually, it's warming up. But welcome into another edition of Pickup Lines presented by Gamez Law Firm. And you know, Gamez Law fights. They had some fights over the weekend that they've been sponsoring. They've gotten really big into boxing, and I know they have a big event with Jesse James Leha coming up in January that you'll want to find out more about, if you will. So, at any rate, thank you so much. As I reflect on 2023, and I'm thankful for so many different things, Gamez Law Firm has to be at the top of that list, of any list I make, of things I'm grateful for in 2023, Gamez Law Firm, and they know that. I saw them the other day, and I told them that. I want to thank my other sponsors, too. Eternally grateful to them as well, and it's a crazy time during the holidays, but if you would just give them some love or go on their social media and like what they do or just take a look at it. Rudy's Flooring and Remodeling, if you're looking at maybe in 2024 you want to do something new for your house, go to Rudy's Flooring and Remodeling. Generations Federal Credit Union, Absolute Power Electrical Contractors, and Ave Clothiers, Phil and Rosie Zavala, who make me look better with my wardrobe as often as they possibly can. Thank you so much. I'm really excited. I've got a couple of, as we inch closer to Christmas here, I'm looking at some like Christmassy kind of fun things to do. And this is a show I've wanted to do for a long time with a person that I've wanted to visit with for a long time. She and I intersected paths in the TV news world once upon a time. And now she is just rocking it in her own, and I don't know if, I didn't come up with the term CAR-cuterie, but we're going to do it today, right? So it's charcuterie in the car. So without further ado, let me bring her in, ladies and gentlemen. The CEO, founder, president, boss lady,
oh my goodness,
executive producer, et cetera, of the board couple. One half of the board couple.
Half, yes.
Monica Nino is here.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so cool to be in your car and chatting about all things delicious and fun. So thank you.
It's like the TV news business. I tell people it's not as glamorous as it looks, but we make it work.
It's pretty glamorous.
Thank you. So I probably found Monica at her busiest time of year, and I said, you know what? Let me interrupt a perfectly good Monday and bring you into my car for half an hour so we can talk about just how crazy your life is right now.
It is a magical winter Christmas wonderland in there, full of fine cheeses and meats. Yes.
And I can think of a lot worse ways to spend the holidays than to do that. We're outside, I was going to say your shop, but now it's one of two shops or locations you have now.
It is, yes. We opened our second location in Comfort in October, the day of the eclipse. We opened our doors.
What? Really? The day of the eclipse? Okay. Remember that.
It was crazy. It was fun. It was all the things that you would expect. It was so busy for the town. The cocktail bar that we are a part of, they celebrated their year anniversary that day. We opened our doors on that day. So
I love it.
It was like the trifecta.
So you wanted to expand, obviously, and Comfort's fantastic. Mm-hmm. There's so many great places in the Hill Country in that part of the state. Why did you decide to put location number 2 in Comfort?
Oh gosh, well, I don't want to bore you with all the details. Long story long. So during the pandemic, there was such a need in the Hill Country for the wineries to stay open. The whole rule of needing to have more food than alcohol in order to keep your door. Really start making one of the products that I brought for you to snack on here in the car. But it was so close, and we had a friend who left a winery, opened up a boutique in Comfort, told us, come look at the space. It's so close to all the wedding venues that you service. It's so close to Fredericksburg, Bernie, your clientele out there. And so it just made sense to be kind of like smack dab in the middle of it all out there as well.
And we were just talking before we came on the air about the pandemic and how, while so many people were having a hard time during the pandemic, you guys really thrived.
We did. It was, we've always tried to see what are the customers, what are the clients trying to tell us about the product? What is it they're looking for? Yeah. And back then, there was corporate shipping that just kind of exploded. Everyone was looking to send something to their employees because they couldn't gather, and they lived all across the U.S. So the only way to get them connected was, of course, everyone knows Zoom parties. That became the whole thing.
Virtual. Yes.
So we did virtual workshops, shipped boards to mom and dad who you couldn't gather with who live
Right.
maybe out of states. But it became a whole thing. Spotify, Nestle, Dell all found out about us, and they've come back year after
Major
year.
names.
Yeah.
Major names. And they continue to obviously order from you guys. I was trying to go back and think about like the charcuterie scene when it kind of took off in San Antonio. You're easily one of the first, if not the first, that I can remember going back several years. But how did you stumble upon it, and what are your earliest memories of what charcuterie was just here in this part of the country?
I mean, I think every kid of the 80s and 90s was born into the charcuterie world. We invented the Lunchable. So I feel like that's the origin of us having
Right.
charcuterie boxes. But it was always a passion, you know, working in news.
Right.
Weird schedule. You would enjoy life where you could in little pockets. Maybe
Right.
that was Saturday morning. Maybe that was Saturday nights.
Right.
Brian and I loved making that our favorite date night. I was too exhausted after working a morning schedule, as you know, to do anything remotely fun, like go to a restaurant. So we would spend our best date nights with a bottle of wine. Sorry, allergies. And
Gosh.
and just, you know, enjoying life at home and enjoying each other's company over charcuterie. So we started that in like 2016, just really doing it, and then decided to make the leap in 2018 and do it kind of on the weekends, part-time, in a shared space with other chefs and other pastry artists not too far from here, near the produce terminal.
I love it. So people are coming on right now. Please share the video if you want. We've got a demonstration. We've got visuals. We have visuals here in just a little bit. Monica was nice enough to bring into the car here. So, you know, you mentioned Lunchables. I never thought of it that way. Those are really like
the OGs of Lunchables. But I mean, truly, like, what is better than cheeses and meats on a cracker?
I was thinking back when I was in school, I don't remember what they were called. It had peanut butter in it and little breadsticks
those were
or
good.
crackers, and you
Yeah.
would get the dip peanut butter.
Yeah, those were good. Or the little cheese whiz things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Totally not what this is about now, but yeah, like I feel like it's a part of all of our childhoods, and then it's something you can relate to. I mean, what good party doesn't have charcuterie and cheese these days?
Right. I think maybe there's a misconception, and tell me if I'm wrong, that charcuterie is for the upper class. It's too sophisticated. I cannot afford such luxuries.
No, it is something that is meant to be enjoyed any night of the week with anyone, party of 1 or 100, date night, family night. It's approachable food. It's all about just having a good time, coming together, and really enjoying what's on the board in front of you.
It's art, though. I mean, you're going to show a board in just a little bit, but it quite literally, and I've been to the Majestic Theater. You guys are seemingly everywhere. You do the little teeny tiny little, you know, personal size, and then you do, what's the largest board?
Oh gosh.
Or setup?
We just did one for 700, maybe 6 weeks ago. But like today, we have stuff going out for a party of 100. We have different events throughout town. We're kind of like everywhere all at once. Party of 2 to party to 200. It just really depends on the given day. Weddings, you know, those can vary, 200, 400 people.
But I've seen photos on your social media. It looks like a football field length of charcuterie.
It is a charcuterie, just grazing table. Yeah.
That's what people call it now. And I know others have, I mean, you have competition obviously now, probably more than you did when you first started. How would you say that your boards are different, and what kind of makes you stand out, other than you were probably the earliest one?
Yeah, so I think a lot of folks thought it was a fun hobby to do during the pandemic, or just on the side for fun. Didn't really go about it the right way. You'll see that a lot on Facebook, and folks that are doing it out of their house. Not really the right way to do it. So please support local, if not us, somebody else who's doing it the right way. But yeah, we just went ahead and wanted to make sure it was done, you know, accordingly. We have a perfect health score. It's super important to us, just really making sure it's all done by the books.
Okay. So, and I'm learning about charcuterie here, because these are things, and I've gotten boards from you before, or I've certainly grazed off of boards that you've done before. And I look at things and I think, my gosh, this can't possibly have come from San Antonio. But how do you go about, you travel, I know, or you travel, but I'm imagining, is it that simple where you're in another country somewhere walking around and you see something and you're like, that's great for the board?
So learning about wine, that's the other side of it, is we're a wine shop as well.
Yeah.
So we have over 1,000 different varietals or types of wine, labels in there. And it goes hand in hand. The food science of pairing with wine, food science of pairing with craft beer is there, but just really learning. And when you go to a country to study wine, a lot of times there is that country's version of charcuterie or their meats and cheeses that they've curated for you to enjoy with the wine, so you really get to learn quite a bit about it.
I love it. And you are certified, like you have certifications. This isn't just like a hobby, like you.
No. So, I mean, it was a lot having this business, the news career, and then also in our spare time, which I don't really recall when that was, getting wine certifications, because we also teach workshops, we teach classes. We're hoping to certify people through WSET, which is the Wine Spirit Education Trust. So we're really trying to bring up everyone's level of education, not just in the Hill Country, but here, and really know when you go to a party, what to order, how to ask for it, the types of wines that pair with charcuterie.
I love it. So can you define charcuterie in one way, or is it just kind of whatever?
Well, so the meaning, and I think that's the big misconception about it, charcuterie is a French term meaning cured meats, because back, way back in the 1400s, 1300s, when it was invented, the only way to store it and cure it was to roll it in salt and hang it and let it just let air kind of do its thing with it. So I always say that the best ingredients to charcuterie are salt, air, and lev, and you hope for the best that it's going to turn out the way it needs to. But that's literally what the term means. A lot of folks now I know will associate it with meats and cheeses. Yes, there's cheeses there too, but if you don't have any of the charcuterie meats on the board, you can't really call it a charcuterie board.
I did not expect to get a history lesson today as well. So that's at no additional charge. We're learning about the history as well. So that goes back 700 years, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Okay. And that brings us to today. So you hinted at, again, you know, the TV news career that you had. And I know, didn't you go like to Atlanta, like CNN, or you were over there, like major network producing.
Yeah. It's such a passion. I think that was always my goal. I know Brian the other half of the board couple, loves to tease me that I did go to like journalism camps in middle school and high school, and I knew like that was the trajectory for what I was going to do in college and out of college, and you know that was my career for 19 years.
Yeah, but you made the decision, or I guess earlier this year, that you were going to devote your full time to the board couple now.
Yeah, I think sometimes life shows you little breadcrumbs of where you should go, and kind of like, oh, look down this path, look how this path may go, or you know, you come to a fork in the road and you have to make a choice, and you know, nothing ever is like clear in the moment, but in hindsight it's like, oh, it was right there the whole time. Yeah. And
looking back on that, how do you feel about the decision now?
It was bittersweet.
Yeah.
You know, I love news. I love the folks in newsrooms. Those are some of the most salt of the earth human beings.
Amen to that.
That you will ever meet. You go through so much collectively together. You spend holidays together. Yes. You work funky shifts together.
Yes.
You experience a lot of life together, tragic moments, happy moments. But you know, it's a unspeakable bond that I don't think a lot of folks would know to even know exists when you turn on the TV and see it.
You get it. And I was telling somebody the other day, just the last 3 or 4 years in news has been so heavy and emotional with so many different things. And so you totally get it. We have questions. We have people coming on right now, and there's John Alonzo again, and I want to make sure I see this. So John's asking, what's your most guilty pleasure item on a board, or what would be a dream list of items that you would put on a board?
Oh, that's a great question. So I'm a cheesy girl. I love cheese. I'm always looking to elevate the board with different cheeses and kind of experiment there.
Cool.
That's always half the fun of it.
No, send us your questions or comments here, because again, I know there's so many different options and varieties, but is there a particular item that you would recommend for people who are new to charcuterie, or if they were going to get their first board, you're like, you have to have this on it?
So there's a couple of treasure gems on our boards, but one of them that right before I hopped in the car, I was on the phone trying to figure out when it's going to get here, is our pepperoni. We get it in by the logs. All of our meats are sliced every single day. We joke that some of our staff members have like one really muscular arm versus the other because they're just there, you know, slicing everything all day long. But our pepperoni comes from a multi-generational Italian family out of Buffalo, New York, and there's little pieces of fennel in there, and you can just taste the love in it. So I feel like that is a staple on our board. Love prosciutto. You can style it so many different ways, but those are my top two. Love soppressata. I love the little pinch of spice on there. It's just, it kind of makes your day when you have all those flavors together.
So, and again, what did you say that again? What was it?
Soppressata?
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Yeah, and so there's so many types of charcuterie meats out there. It has
It's a
to
meat,
do,
okay.
Yeah, all of ours are pork based, but we've kind of ventured into doing lamb, doing beef, doing turkey on our boards too. But it's all about how you cure it and the spices that you use. And also, you know, there's so many different sizes of charcuterie. There's some that are like the size of quarters, and there's some that are, you know, the size of your face, depending on how big the log is.
I love it. Okay, so you brought a couple of things to show off here. We are, what are we, December 11th today?
11th, yes.
So we're 2 weeks out from Christmas, and somebody might watch this and say, what a great gift idea. Is it too late for me to call Monica and get something for my, whatever, family, company?
It is not too late.
Okay.
We are taking orders still. So first I'll go small and then go big. So I brought you what brought us to the dance during the pandemic, which were our TBC boxes. It's basically a redefined Lunchable that is the perfect charcuterie because you can snack on it.
Let me get it close. Let me get it close so people can see what's in here.
It's awesome. There's cheeses, there's meats, grapes, chocolates, our house-made nut mix. We make all of it from scratch. We make all of our raisins from scratch every single day. Yeah. There's
you make your raisins.
So the grapes that come on our bigger boards, the little loose ones, we call them loosies that roll off. We throw them into an industrial dehydrator for like 26 hours. There's a whole thing behind it, and
I love
they go
it.
into our nut mix. Yeah.
Okay, so this is something that. And you still sell these, obviously, but this is what got you through the pandemic.
It is. Everyone liked having individual portions, and then those did really well.
And it tells you right there. It tells you what's in it. So, like, if you're like myself and you're like, oh, that's just a cracker. No, it's not just a cracker. It's a specific thing.
Nutrition's on the other side, but who needs to know all that? No one needs to know
so I'm going to put this over here for now. All right.
Brought you guys this is our smallest board, the round. But
what?
Small.
Let me. This thing is, you need a spotter for this thing.
So what's really cool about all of our boards, and I should mention, yes, we're the board couple because we were boring and loved great food together, but so many like puns within there. So all of our boards, because we love to keep it local, are made by a carpenter who lives in the Woodlawn Lake area.
This is. It's a legitimate solid wood board. Yes.
Yeah, he carves. Yes. He takes care of every single one for your order, and you get to keep it, and it's our
I still have mine from several years ago.
So I mean it's pretty cool, and we get to support somebody else in the community who is an artisan. And
this thing is absolutely loaded, and it has the utensils, it has everything, but I love the little floral little details that you add.
So if you're going to pick it up, it would come just like this. The instructions on how to unwrap it are in there. And then, of course, if you wanted us to come set it up for you, we would leave it just like the picture online. It's dinner and a show.
It really is. It's almost too beautiful to eat.
You have to eat it, though.
I always eat it, but it's almost too. It's such a thing of beauty. And how long does it take you to put one of these together?
Well, now we have it down to a science, so there's a lot of helping hands that go into building every single board, from the slicing and the curating of the nut mix and washing of all the fruits and, you know, styling of all of it. But we can probably get one done in under an hour. It's not too difficult now that we know how to do it. In the beginning, we were like, oh my gosh, this is going to take so long. But now it's like we can crank them out if we need to.
Oh, goodness. So this thing... how much it weighs, or I clearly need to work out, but
that one feeds 4 to 6, but we have larger ones that I couldn't even bring into the car because I wouldn't know where to put it, called the Feast. It feeds 30, and it's giant and it's heavy, and I'm sure if we put it on a scale it would be like 40 pounds.
Oh my gosh. Well, what's super cool, if you ever get to just come over here to your place, I know you've hosted trivia nights and you have happy hours or get-togethers, and I'm sure I'm leaving some things out, but it's a cool little venue.
It's fun. It's kind of become like a speakeasy event center. Trey Martinez-Fisher had his staff party here last week.
Oh, nice.
Crew, which is commercial real estate women, you know, they were the ones around town that are heavy hitters in commercial real estate, had their Christmas party here. You never know kind of what's getting together. This Friday we have a medical group that wanted to have a workshop put on privately for them as their holiday party, so we're doing that. But it's a lot of fun to have like birthday parties, anniversary parties kind of here.
It's not a 9-to-5 job necessarily.
It is not. No, it's a 7-day-a-week, 24/7, much like news, but it does have its challenges.
Right.
But it's so much fun. Like, you get to wake up and like you're the best part of someone's day, even if it's being ordered for an unfortunate circumstance. Like, you get to greet them at the door with this thing of beauty, and they're so excited and so happy and can't believe like they get to enjoy that later.
That's an excellent point that you've put it that way, because you are literally, I mean, I can't imagine you've ever shown up with one of these and somebody goes, oh.
It's a popular condolence gift.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
celebration of life. A lot of folks will have us set up grazing tables afterwards.
I get it.
But it's a sad event as to why we're there, but it's so joyous to see that we could bring a smile to their face even for a little bit afterwards.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We have the kind of the shared experience of having left TV news this year and making that decision. But I wonder what that process was like for you, and if you could speak to somebody who's watching this who might be in a similar situation where they're like, they have a passion or they think maybe it's time to kind of that fork in the road you talked about. What would you tell them?
So I know there's that whole cliche, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Yeah.
Everyone would venture out and follow their passion. It needs to be something that's methodical. You really need to have like an honest conversation with yourself about what you want out of something. What is it that you love about your current situation, your current role in your job? Is it the place that you're at that you love? Is it the actual job itself? What about it brings you joy? And then really honing in on that. And I think when I hit like year 18 in the business, I really started to think, what brings me joy about this? I love sharing stories. I love being with the people. I still get to share stories. I still get to be with the people. I still get to, be involved in the community. I was born and raised here. San Antonio is so special to me, and I get to see the community in a different way now every day.
But if you could speak to high school Monica or little girl Monica, and you would say that you were going to be running the board couple or charcuterie business, I mean,
what would I tell her?
What did little teeny tiny Monica want to be when she grew up years ago?
Oh, she definitely wanted to be a journalist. I would tell her, follow your passion, and in following your passion, all the doors are going to open to where you need to be in the end. So just, journalism is your passion. Journalism is your love.
Yeah.
It's never going to leave me. There's always stuff going on. There's always opportunities, even with this, to do it. But follow your passion, see where it goes. If you're starting in the television industry now, it's such a different world than it was 20 years ago.
Exactly.
So I would say learn all you can, reach out to those that have been in the industry for a while, and really try to learn from them and kind of take note of where it's going in the next 10 years.
Monica and I are very accessible. We're happy to talk to you if you need,
Yes.
when she's not busy putting boards together and everything. So we have a few more minutes here with Monica and Nino, one half of the board couple. And again, this board, here's one of the boards. So future plans. You got your second location now in Comfort. What else do you want to conquer?
Want to keep educating and teaching about, wines, charcuterie. I want to keep growing both locations. We chose the one here in the Woodlawn Lake area because it's so accessible everywhere, and it's really nice to be in the heart of the West Side. But I want to keep just seeing where we can go with it, seeing what the next couple of years brings. I think there's opportunity to really reach people online and, kind of educate about wine, educate about charcuterie, and just really do something with that next year. Really focus on what we can do to make folks want to come out and see us at both locations in our cafe. That's been kind of the struggle. So, I think a lot of restaurateurs right now are struggling with dining rooms not being at full capacity. It's been a challenge. So really just focusing on how we can get more folks to stop in and dine in. Yeah.
Well, it's been around for what you said, 700 years. So I don't feel like charcuterie is going away anytime soon.
It's definitely not. We're here to stay, and we're not going anywhere. So definitely, it is a staple of San Antonio now.
And it's pandemic proof. You know that.
It is.
It's one of the few things I can actually say that.
It is. Yeah. That is interesting. Yeah. It is. It was pandemic proof. I hope we never go through that again. But now that we've tested it, we can see and say that it definitely is.
Well, listen, I know you got a super busy day ahead of you and a million orders and maybe a few more now that you've been on here. But
and I brought you some cookies.
What? You have more?
Yes, we make cookies here in house too. So
gracious, Monica.
Yes.
That's a cute box too.
Yeah, you're going home with all kinds of goodies.
I was reading too. Was it Brian was inspired to get into this? Like, was it his grandmother and his mother kind of inspired?
Yeah. So he comes from a long line of home cooks and just salt of the earth loved ones who really just like inspired him. He's always been a big barbecuer. He's always been a whiz in the kitchen.
Yeah.
He, when we started building these boards, he had like a vision for the layout of it, and it just became a whole thing from there. But yes, he is a connoisseur of all things charcuterie and wine.
So when you're done with work, like at home in your private moments, do you like to cook?
We love to cook.
Okay, you don't get tired of it, like?
No, we love to cook. We love trying new things. We love looking around and seeing like, oh, that recipe looks good and it's been pinned on your page for forever.
Yeah.
We'll revisit it. But we love to cook and we love to entertain. That's the whole heart of it. That's why we started the business.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And you guys are entertaining large and small groups. And here it is one more time. The behemoth. This is, what is this called? Somebody says, I want this today. Oh,
that's
for
the
Christmas.
rounds. That's the round.
The
That'll
rounds.
feed 4 to 6 folks.
Okay, so this is if you see this and you're like, you call Monica and I want the one that I saw in pickup lines.
Yes.
It's called the rounds.
It's called the rounds.
Okay. I know you guys are on all the social media platforms and everything, and Monica would love to hear from you if you have a request, large or small. I've been admiring what you guys have been doing, and Brian is a fantastic guy. You already know that, but I've admired what you guys have done for a long time, especially when you were doing the new stuff and this. I was like, oh, how does she do it? But
well, thank you. It was not easy, but there are 24 hours in every day, luckily.
Yes.
So you only need to sleep a couple of those hours.
Oh, girl,
you can keep going. You can keep going with life.
Exactly.
You can sleep next year.
Okay. Well,
after the holiday season's over.
Yes. But it's such an exciting time. I know you're super busy, and I'm so grateful that you spent some time with me here today. So if people want more information, one more time, it's the Board Couple, like BOARD. You're not boring. You and Brian are not, it's not the other board.
I mean, it's a play on it, sure.
I love it though.
Yeah, it's yes. But please visit our website. Please come to our Instagram. If you come to our TikTok, it's full of a lot of dog videos. Brian loves to shoot the dog, enjoying things at home. So we're still cleaning that one up, but Facebook as well is out there.
Super cool. Well, it's thrilling to see you again.
Thank you.
All the best to you and Brian, and continued success here in Comfort and beyond.
Thank you.
Whatever else you conquer in 2024. The Board Couple. If you'd like more information, find them on your favorite social media platform and grab a board and graze during the holidays.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you, Monica.
Good to see you too.
Okay, there you have it, another episode of Pickup Lines presented by Gamez Law Firm. We'll be back very soon with another live episode right here on Facebook Live. Happy holidays and have a great Monday. Bye for now.